All right, today we're going to do something really special. We're taking the wisdom of two absolute giants, the legendary investor Monish Pabrai and productivity guru Ali Abdaal, and we're putting it all together. We're building a single, actionable playbook to get you to financial freedom. Let's get right into it.
I mean, seriously, what if it wasn't this terrifying jump into the unknown? What if it was just a series of small, smart steps with basically zero risk? That's the whole idea we're digging into today. Forget that myth of the reckless entrepreneur, the person who bets it all. We're going to build a plan using Pabrai's famous line, heads you win, tails you don't lose much. How good does that sound?
Okay, so before we can even start building a plan, we have to know where we're going, right? We got to define the destination. So, what is financial freedom really?
And this is where things get interesting, because it totally reframes the conversation. Ali Abdaal talks about this. His first goal wasn't to make millions of dollars. No, it was just to go from working 6 days a week as a doctor down to 3. See? Financial freedom, it's not about some huge abstract number. It's about buying back your most valuable asset, the one thing you can never get more of, your time.
So just stop and think about that for a second. Seriously, what would that freedom look like for you? Would you go part-time? Quit that job you're kind of checked out of? Spend way more time with your family, your kids? Maybe just focus on your health? When you get really specific about the why, believe me, the how becomes so much easier to figure out.
Okay, so you've got your destination in mind. Now what? Well, now you need a map. And for that, we're going to turn to Ali Abdaal's framework, which is it's so simple and so brilliant. It's designed to turn that vague feeling of wanting freedom into a real, concrete plan. He calls it the GPS model. And it's this super simple 3-step process. First, you set your goal. That's your clear destination. Second, you look at your current plan, like your job, your life right now, and you ask yourself honestly, can this plan actually get me to that goal? And third, you build the system. Those are the daily habits, the things you do every day to actually make the new plan happen.
And this right here, this is the problem most of us face, right? You have a goal, let's say it's to make 200 grand a year. That's what freedom looks like for you. But your current plan, your 9-to-5 job, well, its path is maybe headed for 50,000 a year. There's this huge, massive gap between the goal and the plan.
And here's the really crucial point. It's not because people are lazy. It's really not. It's because most people literally don't know what the other paths are to get from A to B. It's a knowledge problem. And that's exactly what the next 2 parts of this are designed to solve. So, let's take a look at the first path.
All right, path number 1, entrepreneurship. But hold on, not the crazy high-stakes version you see in the movies. No, this is Monish Pabrai's guide to starting a business with almost zero risk. Seriously. I mean, this quote right here, it just completely shatters that popular myth, doesn't it? The real entrepreneurs, the legends like Bill Gates or Sam Walton, they aren't gamblers. They are professional risk reducers. They spend all their time figuring out how to rig the game in their favor, so if they're wrong, they barely lose anything. But if they're right, they win big.
So, Pabrai gives us 3 core models here. First, just clone what's already working. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Bill Gates copied existing software ideas, Sam Walton copied retail concepts. It works. Second, and this is the big one, start while you are still employed. Let your day job pay the bills while you build your thing on the side. But of course, that raises the big question. Where the heck do you find the time? And that brings us to number 3. You have to get ruthless about managing it.
Let's break it down. Every single one of us, no matter who you are, gets 168 hours a week. That's it. That is your time budget. No more, no less.
Okay, so out of that budget, we gotta subtract the things we can't avoid. Pabrai figures, about 56 hours for sleep and another 40 for your 9-to-5 job. Seems pretty reasonable, right? And even after you factor in things like commuting and chores, just look at what's left. It's a massive block of around 72 hours of your time every single week. That's your Netflix time, your scrolling time, and it's the exact time that you can reclaim to build your own future.
But here's the catch, and it's a big one. You are not going to trade watching Netflix for more work unless the thing you're working on is genuinely more exciting. Pabrai's litmus test is this. Building your business has to feel more engaging, more thrilling than just chilling out. If it feels like a chore, you've probably got the wrong idea. All right, let's switch gears and look at the second path on our map. So if building a business from scratch just isn't your thing, listen up because this one might be for you.
This path doesn't require some brilliant new idea. You don't have to manage people. It mostly just requires patience and discipline. This is the investor's playbook. And honestly, for a lot of people, this is the most reliable road to financial freedom.
So to master this playbook, you really only need to get your head around one core concept: compounding. And the rule of 72 is like the perfect little mental shortcut for it. Here's how it works. If your investment is making, say, 10% a year, it'll double your money in about 7.2 years. If it's making 7%, it'll take about a decade. Just understanding that simple math, it's the first step to really getting the almost magical power of time.
And if you want to see just how explosive this can be over a long time, check out this story. Back in 1623, Manhattan was famously sold for about 23 bucks. Now, what if that $23 had been invested at just 7% a year? By 2023, it would have grown to, wait for it, $23 trillion. That's more than the actual land is worth today. That's that crazy hockey stick growth of compounding.
So, how do you actually use this incredible power for yourself? Well, the plan is so simple. Almost anyone can do it. First, you have to start as early as you possibly can. Time is your absolute biggest advantage. Second, spend less than you earn. Simple, but crucial. Third, take that money you saved and consistently invest it into a broad, low-cost index fund, something that just tracks the entire stock market. And finally, this is the hardest part for most people, just forget about it. Let it do its thing, let it compound for decades without you messing with it. That's the whole strategy, right there.
Okay, so we've got these two different playbooks, right? The low-risk startup on one hand and the long-term investment on the other. But what's the common thread? What's the master mindset behind both of these strategies? Well, Mohnish Pabrai has a name for it. He calls it the Dando principle.
And there's one little phrase. It's the whole philosophy in a nutshell. It's a way of looking at the world where you're always trying to set things up so that the potential upside is huge, but the potential downside is super tiny, or maybe even zero. You're constantly searching for opportunities with this asymmetrical risk.
I mean, just think about it. Starting a business while you have a job. What's your real downside? Your free time. That's about it. And the upside? It could be a multi-million-dollar company. So heads you win, tails, you're pretty much right back where you started. No big deal. Same with investing. You put small amounts into the stock market over 40 years. Your downside is only what you put in. But your upside, like we saw with that Manhattan example, it's practically limitless. It's all about taking these free shots at success.
So there you have it. You've got the map to figure out your destination, and you've got two proven low-risk playbooks to get you there. The knowledge problem? That's solved. So the only question that's left is, which journey are you going to choose?